Hi, Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection. I have a real neat project for you today. We're going to make this card and we're going to mix these paints using our Stampin Up inks and some Tombow glue. We're going to use the Seaside Shore stamp set as well as from Land and Sea. And you're going to need your basic card at 5.5 by 4.25. I'm matting it with Bermuda Bay. This is Soft Sky with Bermuda Bay at 5 1/4 by 4. And then this is watercolor paper I'm using at 5 3 3/4. So, and you're going to need some Stampin Spritzers, and I have 3 of them. I filled them with, this is alcohol, and I put a couple of drops of the re-inker. So this one is Bermuda Bay, this one is, this one is Daffodil Delight, this is Bermuda Bay, and this is Melon Mambo. I love those colors. And then you're going to need the re-inkers for Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight. It's So Saffron, and this is Bermuda Bay. I'm using just a mixing watercolor tray, and I have some brushes. And I'm going to use some Tombow glue. And I also have a bit of Dazzling Diamonds that I'm going to use to kind of give it some pizzazz. So with all that, then let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do in order to make this card is we're going to go ahead and take our image of our turtle, and we're going to use Stays On ink to stamp him across our image. Now, this is watercolor paper, and as I've said before, it's got a rough side and it's got a smooth side, and we're going to be using the smooth side. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink up my turtle. I love sea turtles. I think they are just gorgeous creatures. I'm going to put one here. I'm going to have another one that's going to be kind of heading down. And then my last one is going to be kind of coming into the field there off from the side. So there's my 3 sea turtles. And clean up my stamp with my Stays On ink so I keep my stamps clean. Okay, so I'm going to put the Stays On away because I'm pretty much done with, forgot my cover and my Stays On. I want to make sure I keep that on. Okay. So now I'm going to do some embossing, and I did forget to mention that to you. You're going to need some embossing powder. I have an embossing buddy here, but because it's an underwater scene, I don't mind if I get some embossing powder in other areas of my image here, because I think it all kind of adds to it. So I'm going to put my embossing buddy aside. I'm going to get my Versamark. And I have the seaweed, I think is seaweed, and then I have 2 stamps that I've kind of stamped. I've put on one block a starfish and a shell. So I'm going to start, with my seaweed. And I'm just going to kind of just put it along the bottom of my image. And I even, don't mind just putting a little bit more. Then I'm going to take my shell and I can kind of see it if I put it in the light. I can kind of see where they are. And yeah, that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to put my seashell right here in the corner. So I'm kind of guesstimating where I want them. They're not exactly perfect, but I think it all adds interest to our scene. And I'm going to put it in my tray here, and I'm going to put white embossing powder all over my image, and just going to carefully lift that up and just make sure it kind of gets all over. There we go. Okay, you can see I've got the embossing powder on there. So let me go emboss it and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've embossed my image, and you can see there are the water, the seaweed, and the seashells on the bottom. So the next thing we do is we're going to paint our turtles, and we're going to have to mix some paint. And how we're going to mix that is we're going to use some Tombow glue, and you're just going to, this is an old thing of Tombow, so it's going to take me a few minutes to get this thing out. Let me get this newer one. So you're just going to, we're going to use the 3 colors. So you're going to take your Tombow and you're going to just hit 3 little dabs. Then you're going to take, you're going to start with your lightest color. So we're going to start with So Saffron. And I'm just going to put a drop of ink. And I'm going to have one brush that's primarily going to be my mixing brush. I'm going to mix that So Saffron up, okay? And I'm going to make sure that I have a baby wipe here that I can use to clean my brushes. So I have this very narrow little brush here. And I'm going to take my So Saffron, and I'm going to paint the bottom half of my sea turtle. It's going to be this neat gold color right here. Okay? So I'm going to just work my way around, just painting around my sea turtle. So he's going to be this neat gold color. And the glue is kind of acting as kind of a medium for our ink. But the glue is going to dry sticky, right? Anytime because this is just straight Tombow. We're basically just painting straight Tombow right on our image. So we're going to have a sticky image, but I have a solution for that. Okay, so now I've painted our images, right? Okay, so now I'm going to take some Melon Mambo, or yeah, I'm going to do some Melon Mambo. Just a drop of Melon Mambo is all you need. And I'm going to mix my Bermuda Bay at the same time, because I'm going to do some blending. Okay? So you see, this is just old stuff here, but there's the glue and the Melon Mambo. So I'm going to take my Melon Mambo and I'm going to mix that up. and I'm going to add a little bit of Dazzling Diamonds to it. Just a skosh. And so there's my Dazzling Diamonds. Just going to mix it in with my Melon Mambo. It's starting to dry, so I got to start working a little fast. So I'm going to use my Melon Mambo, and I'm going to do the bottom of my shell, and I'm just going to do brush strokes up. Hit the bottom of my shell, and just do brush strokes up like that. Okay. Working around my turtle shells. I actually got inspired with this project when I went to a show in Orlando for Stamp Fest, and I saw some interesting products, but I thought, you know what? I think I can do the same thing with Stampin' Up products. And sure enough, I found a way to do it. So that's why I wanted to share this with you. So now I've just kind of used my Bermuda Bay here. And I'm adding it to my shell. And I'm also just kind of blending it right here where it meets the Melon Mambo. I'm just kind of blending it in with my brush. And the glue is drying fast, so I have to work a little fast here. Now, if your glue gets kind of gloppy, and it will, you could just throw another dot of glue on there because my glue is starting to dry up. Or you can just go ahead and pour your glue as you need it. Now, my glue is getting a little gloppy, so all I did is I just poured some more glue, and I'm picking up some of the glops of ink, of pigment, with some of the glitter. And you can tell I kind of overdid it, so I put a little bit too much glitter, but it's all good. It's all going to work out. So I'm just kind of applying that. Kind of bringing a little bit of that, of my Bermuda Bay, kind of down along my where my can't talk, where my Melon Mambo meets. So I'm just kind of blending it like that. You see that? How I'm just kind of blending the two so there's a smoother line between the two colors. Okay, so there's our turtles, and you can see how nice and glittery the shells are, because that's where we put the glitter. So I'm going to put my glue away. I wonder if I can save any of my glitter here, because yeah, it didn't get, yeah, I can shake the excess back in because I don't like to waste stuff. All right, so boom. Grab a couple baby wipes, right? Our cleaning tool of choice. There you go. Just cleaned my work center. Okay, so now I have very, very sticky turtles. So I'm going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to set this in my tray, and I have clear embossing powder. So I'm going to put my clear embossing powder all over my nice sticky turtles with my Tombow glue. It works very nicely. And I'm going to just cover my turtles. You see how they're covered? Okay, I'm going to go embossing. Be right back. Okay, so I just finished embossing my turtles with the clear embossing powder, and look how gorgeous they came out. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and you can see where I have the white embossed. So now we're going to kind of do some reverse embossing, because I'm going to take this, and I've just got some scrap paper, and I'm just going to kind of lay it out over my surface, and I'm going to take my Stampin Spritzers, and I'm going to spritz my card. And I always start with the lightest color first. So just go ahead and boom, 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 boom. Okay. Then go with the blue, or go with the pink and kind of put some pink stuff there. And then let's finish it up with some blue. Hey, how about that? Okay. So then we're just going to let, and this is all with alcohol. We're just going to kind of let that seep in, and then I'm just going to wipe where I had it embossed in white, and I'm just very delicately going to blot away and there you go. White embossing powder, so we're doing reverse embossing. We did the mixed our inks, so saffron with Tombow, Melon Mambo, Bermuda Bay with some Dazzling Diamonds. While it was nice and sticky, went ahead and we embossed it with clear, so now it's not sticky at all. Then we put our watercolor paper down and we spritzed it with the same colors. Only I used Daffodil Delight, I used Melon Mambo, and Bermuda Bay. And you can see where the Melon Mambo kind of stayed true, but then when it hit the Bermuda Bay, it turned in pretty violet. Very pretty violet. It's really nice. Okay, so it's still a little bowed, and when it's bowed like this, it means it's still wet. So we just need to put this down and let it dry. And as soon as it's dry, we'll go ahead and put together our card. Okay, my card is nice and dry. It's nice and flat now. I actually took it over there with my embossing tool, and I just kind of let it dry a little bit. It's still gorgeous. Those colors really came out nice. So now we're going to add a little bit of embellishments to it. I have here the embellishments from the metallic sequins assortment, and I fished out some of the clear sequins, and I'm going to use those with a mini glue dot. And I know you can't see this, so when it's done though, you'll see where I'm putting them. And I'll put one right there. I just basically have the sequence on my finger. I lay it on top of the glue dot, and it fits perfectly. It's the same circumference. And then I'll pick it up with my X-Acto blade, and they're going to be bubbles that are coming up from one of my turtles, just to give it a little bit more. Oops. Oh no, I didn't lose it. These things are so hard to find if you lose them. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay that on top of my glue dot. Pick it up with my and we're just going to put that right there. Okay, so there you can see I have a couple of bubbles. It looks kind of cool, doesn't it? So now I'm going to take some of my Wink of Stella, and it's clear. It's the clear. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to run some Wink of Stella right along the inside of my seaweed here. Running the Ink of Stella along the inside of my seaweed. Okay, so there you can see the Wink of Stella right inside the, you can see it right inside the leaves of my seaweed. You can see my bubbles coming up from my sea turtle. So I think I've embellished that enough. Look how nice it's going to look on my Bermuda Bay. I like using my tear and tape. It gives me a very good very nice adhesion. Oops. Let's go ahead and snip it right there. And snip it there. And then snip it there. And I'm going to grab my X-Acto blade. Pull it up. Pull the corner. I'm just kind of stroking it down with the corner of my X-Acto blade. Pull it up. Okay, I'm going to put my card down. Yeah, pretty. And now I'm going to put it on my soft sky. If you use the tear tape, after a while, you get pretty good at just laying it down. I just like to use tear tape. If you've seen some of my other videos, I'm working a lot with watercolor paper. It's very heavy, and I just want to make sure that my cards do not fall apart after I put them together. And so far, I've had good success with the tear tape. So I'm sticking to it. And here we go. We're just going to put that right there. Wow, I really like that. What a cool card. So there you go. Your colors are Melon Mambo, Bermuda Bay, and So Saffron using Tombow Glue, white embossing powder, and clear embossing powder. And your Stampin Spritzers with alcohol. So I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. This is Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection. Happy stamping.